Good afternoon. My name is Gail Love, and I am the Senior Division Director for Public Information and Outreach for the Miami-Dade County Department of Solid Waste Management. I'd like to welcome everyone here today, and at this time, we're going to have just a little bit of a change in our program. I'm going to turn the microphone over to our Mayor Daniela Levine Cava. She has some important words that she'd like to share with us about storm preparation.
Thank you, Gail. Thank you, everyone. So you heard the thunder rumble, right? So that's kind of on cue. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Daniela Levine Cava, your county mayor. Thank you so much for being with us to celebrate a really incredible milestone. There's a lot of excitement here for the innovation and critical steps that we're taking to get future ready right here in Miami-Dade. But before we get started on the really good news, I have to take a few minutes to share with you an important update on Hurricane Ian and the impacts that we may see this week. So we're no longer in the cone of concern. I'm sure you all know that. Nonetheless, we're taking all necessary precautions to prepare for the weather, including wind, rain, and possible flooding. As of this morning, the National Weather Service has upgraded Ian to a Category 1 hurricane. The storm is forecast to rapidly intensify as it approaches Florida, and impacts are expected to extend well beyond the cone of concern. Miami-Dade may experience tropical storm force winds with potential tornadoes in the area, and a surge watch is in effect for lower parts of Miami-Dade County with possible flooding due to high tides. An estimated 3 to 8 inches of rain is expected through Thursday, with flash and urban flooding a possibility. The storm is coinciding with king tide, which makes it even more important that we prepare and that we remain vigilant. County teams are already working around the clock. They have been all weekend to prepare for the extra rainfall. We're installing temporary dams around some of our largest and low-lying pump stations, and we will have extra staff at all of our water and sewer facilities in the event of any issues during the storms. So everyone can help to minimize the impacts on our stormwater system. Very important to do so. Keeping manhole covers closed. Do not attempt to pry open manholes. You can decrease your water use in the morning and evening. Those are the heaviest usage times during heavy rain. And here are some other tips to help us get ready for possible flooding. You can prepare your business or your home, no matter where you live, but particularly if you are in a low-lying area, near water or downstream from a dam. Protect your home if you live in an area that has a high flood risk by elevating the furnace, your water heater, and electric panel in your home so they're not damaged by flooding. Bring in your outside furniture and move your valuables to higher places. Unplug your electric appliances, moving them to higher levels if possible. And do not touch an electric appliance if you are wet or standing in water. These are common sense protections, please. It's so important that all of our residents and visitors get familiar with the terms that are used to identify a flood hazard. A flood or flash flood watch means there's a possibility of flooding or a flash flood in your area. A flood warning means a flood is occurring or will likely occur soon. So make a flood emergency plan for relevant types of local flood risk with plans such as evacuation, shelter, and identify locations for high ground or inland where you can safely shelter. If you are advised to evacuate, do so immediately and seek higher ground immediately. Do not wait for instructions. Remember, it's never safe to walk or to drive into floodwaters. Don't drive or walk around road barriers or through large puddles. Hidden debris may be just under the surface that could hurt you or disable your car. More than half of the deaths from flooding each year occur in vehicles, so turn around, don't drown. Don't underestimate the power of water. 6 inches of fast-moving floodwater can knock over an adult and it takes just 12 inches of rushing water to carry away a small car, while 2 feet of rushing water can carry away most vehicles. It's also important to stay away from downed power lines and electric wires. You can report downed power lines to Florida Power and Light's customer service number at 305-442-8770, 305-442-8770. And finally, don't stand or play in standing water. If water is stagnant for extended periods, there's a potential for contamination. So Miami-Dade will likely begin experiencing wind and rain, it says starting tomorrow, but hey, you're getting a little precursor here. If you don't need to drive, it's safer to stay off the roads. Miami International Airport and Miami-Dade County's general aviation airports will remain open, but flights between MIA and the Cayman Islands, Cuba, and Central and North Florida are expected to be delayed or canceled this week due to Hurricane Ian. Travelers flying to those areas should confirm their flight status with their airline before heading to the airport, or anywhere that you're going, really. Last but not least, Hurricane Ian reminds all of us that we are in the peak of hurricane season, and the time is now to make sure you and your family are prepared. Make sure you have a hurricane plan in place and that your hurricane kit is stocked. The key steps you should take before, during, and after storm can be found on our website, miamidade.gov/hurricane. We also encourage you to continue monitoring local media and verified social media platforms for the latest updates and instructions from public safety officials. Follow Miami-Dade County's social media channels and the Office of Emergency Management on Twitter at Miami-Dade EM and on Facebook, or call the 311 Contact Center.